I'm speaking with Ryan Halls, co-founder of Hugh Partners. Ryan, good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise, Chris. Great to be back with you.
Ryan, what have you been noticing as far as wealth management M&A trends so far in 2026?
Well, first of all, it's been incredibly busy. So anybody who's in or around the space has probably had a pretty packed calendar, and anybody who was hoping to have a quiet summer is likely not going to get that wish. But it's a good thing. There's a lot of great activity going on and a lot of great partnerships coming together. So first of all, just you can't avoid just calling out the amount of activity that's going on in the space. I think if you drill down on that, a few things that we're seeing. One, I think that there's just a ton of folks that are exploring M&A for the first time. Sellers who maybe have had a great boutique business, a great sort of independent firm who, when they look around the space and they see the number of transactions that are being announced, you hear that valuations are at all-time highs. You yourselves are healthy financially as markets are at all-time highs. It feels like supply, particularly in that kind of sub $2 billion type of firms, is probably higher than we've ever seen. Um, but of course, when you have that much supply, I think that from the buyer's perspective, there's a real sense of kind of opportunity cost and where you want to spend your time, where you want to allocate your resources, the deals that you want to really pursue aggressively. That aperture is becoming more selective. I think just because of the volume of activity that's out there. Capital is not infinite, time is not infinite. Integration teams certainly have a finite bandwidth. So the most thoughtful platforms and firms that are traditionally the most active acquirers and partners, they are really picking their shots. They're really picking their shots and being discerning on the opportunities that they're leaning into.
Thank you. With that in mind, what should buyers and sellers and potential buyers and sellers, so wealth management firm leaders, be thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, right? And especially today, we've talked about this now for several years, but high quality RIAs, you are likely getting more inbound calls from bankers, private equity sponsors, strategic acquirers, platforms, lenders, than you are from product wholesalers. I mean, just the amount of inbound communication that's occurring out there is staggering. I think what we're realizing is that when we talk to firms, they're trying to figure out, how can I get information about the marketplace, but not inadvertently kick off a sales process. Because that's one of the things that is happening is firms they're curious. They've had good relationships or communications with a number of firms over time. They decide to pick their head up. They have a few conversations, and next thing they know, they're looking at an LOI. And I think that that's one of the kind of aha moments that a lot of firms have, where they just wanted to get some information, and it really turned into a wedding. And a shotgun wedding is too harsh of a term, but it really is. You can kind of go from dating to married before you even realize it. So I think that's one of the things that just fundamentally, taking a beat. We know that kind of connection is what creates value. Relationships form over time. There's some very thoughtful corporate development groups that are out there doing really, really great work to build relationships. Um, and what we found is you have to kind of marry that desire to learn about the space with a process that allows you to do that diligence. And that is one of the more interesting things that's going on right now is firms that are coming to us saying, I don't even know if a transaction is right for me, but I am curious and I just want to learn and I want to do diligence on what's out there. And that's an area that we're spending a lot of our time, is kind of unpacking that. Um, the other side of that is, firms as they're thinking about their own house. And, is it in order? How's the curb appeal? Are they doing things that are going to make them more marketable, more durable, more investable, and more desirable from a valuation perspective? I think that those functions are really probably more so than ever uh, becoming conversations around organic growth. So, are you growing? Net net new assets excluding market. Um, that's probably the biggest differentiator right now. And it makes sense if valuations are at all time highs. The only way to really substantiate and make the math work from a buyer perspective is to be able to fuel organic growth. And so, in order for that to happen, you need to have the right people in place. You have to have capacity. The best years can't be behind you from a growth perspective, they need to be ahead of you. And so, what are you doing that's either creating opportunities, that's driving organic growth via referrals, via strategic relationships, X market? And that is probably the most inwardly reflective conversation that we would advise and we talk to our clients about, because that's going to be the biggest driver of differentiation between a very, very good valuation and a true premium valuation is what X market net new asset net new revenue growth looks like.
Awesome. And finally, what's been going on with Hugh Partners in 2026?
It's been slow, Chris. Nothing going on here. No, we're blessed to be busy. It's incredible, and I think with the opportunities that we've been working on, and the firms that we've had the opportunity to represent, we are we play a small role in a journey that's likely taken decades for firms to build as they think about this next chapter. And we just continue to be privileged to sit alongside our clients and help them through this process. I would say it's one of the things that we think about is doing a lot for a few and working with our clients, and being really intentional with just being aligned with our clients, folks that care deeply about their clients, their team, recognizing that life after the deal matters. The transaction is the wedding. um, Everything that comes next is the marriage. And so, yes, while you can have a terrific wedding, if the marriage isn't a good one, then that's not success to us. And so, those are the things that we continue to stay focused on. Certainly no shortage of activity, but just an arena where the impact that we have the opportunity to make with our clients, their fellow owners and stakeholders, their team and their clients. Um, it's a sacred one, and it's an opportunity that we wake up every morning just excited to go fulfill.
Ryan, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, Chris, it's great to be with you. Thank you for everything that you do and creating this incredible content for our space. It doesn't go unnoticed, and we're grateful for it.